Ooh, welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing? What's going on out there? Tom Cook, what's going on? Cup of cake. You recognize anybody over there on the
I
side?
recognize Tom Cook.
Tom Cook.
S477 Harry.
7. I've seen him in some of the questions. I think I've seen him
Yeah,
before.
I noticed him. I recognize him from your channel.
All right.
How's
Okay.
everybody doing tonight?
What
Tom
is
Cook
going on?
drives a 1996 Dodge Dakota,
Look,
70,000 miles.
yeah, that's the Chrysler guy. I just found that out. He got the same little tools I use. We use at the dealer and everything. So I didn't know that either. So some of the I have to base my answers on some on a guy that on a person that may not know what I'm talking about. And I was talking kind of it's like I was degrading him. My bad, Tom. I didn't know you was you explained that fully to me earlier. Okay, but go ahead on introduce yourself just in case somebody don't know what's going on.
So, my name's Sean. I'm from this guy's garage, and I've known JT for about a year now, and I I love your channel, and I I I I use your insight quite frequently, actually. So it's a it's a fun time. My channel, it's more along the hobby side of things, hot rodding, that kind of jazz. Maybe help person try to help people out with doing repairs that they can do themselves. You know what I mean? Try to save people a buck.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. All right, guys. Like I said in the title, we're gonna try to discuss some typical I guess high performance engine. For the record, I went and paid my buddy a visit, buddy co-worker, worked right next to the guy at the dealer, but he decided to branch out on his own. He had shop ownership aspirations. One day he really wanted to own his own shop, so he saw that opening and he jumped right on it. So he have a high performance shop.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
yeah, yeah. So I from time to time I go pay him a visit, and that's what I did the other day. And you know me, guys. When I pay somebody a visit in the shop, this is with me. So I'm filming, getting as much footage as I can. I got a chance to see some of the damage that those high performance engines can actually go through. I mean, it's all glamour and gloom, caper. On the track and at the track and on the streets.
Yep.
But when the curtains come down and the hood come up and the oil pan come off, it can get ugly, man.
Oh,
Yeah, it can get
this is
ugly.
this horsepower game. It is extremely dangerous. Shalala ooby doo.
It can get ugly. I saw some things I haven't seen in a while. Well, as far as high performance or as high as we go, maybe with repairs is I mean, we see some Hemis, some 6.4s, things like that. We'll swap engine, things like that, but we hardly ever see those cars, guys. For one thing, Caper, when they buy those cars, number one, you probably have to order them when you get one of those scat packs and all that stuff. The first place they go, Caper, is a high performance shop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's as if the horsepower that it came with is not enough.
Well, I tell you, the horsepower that it came with is more than enough. But it's not my channel. But swinging a big stick, you got to add some inches to that stick, right? Walk softly and carry a big stick.
I don't get it, man.
You can paraphrase.
I don't get it. They don't mind voiding their warranty. They don't care. All they want is more horsepower. So,
and 9 out of 10 of those guys, right? They never use that horsepower. They never see the drag strip.
Wow.
The only place that horsepower actually gets seen is at the dyno. There's no point of going to the dyno if you're not going to take it to the track and
to the track. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like I'm a do-it-yourself kind of power enthusiast, right? Like I don't have a fat wallet or an unlimited budget, so I have to do things on the cheap, and I might find a cheaper way to get the same result. But
right.
But if you're going to like the guy that dynos my car, if I was just going to drop my car off and he was going to do it to his specifications, then he's not going to be married to the problem. It's going to be done right, and you're going to pay.
Right. Okay.
So There's 1,000 different ways to skin a cat, but
All right, guys. What we got planned? I got like 5 little mini video clips I want to go through, and we're gonna dissect those. The first one, it's nothing major. I mean, it's a typical. In fact, this one of the repairs we see a lot at the dealer. It's a 5.7 Hemi is what I'm talking about. Where the roller rocker come apart, and of course it eats up the cam, and of course the rest: misfire, knocking noise, all kinds of things. And so that repair is nothing fancy about that. But what I picked up out of this clip, in fact, I'm gonna load this clip up now. It's the way the guy explained the difference between the two motors, the 6.4 and the 5.7. So I'm gonna play this clip, guys. I want y'all to listen to this clip. Hold tight.
Y'all see one bad. This typical cam repair. Right. So that's what you did. It's done. Eh? Oh yeah, bottom shit too?
Mm-hmm. The 6.4s do that.
The 6.4 do top and bottom?
If you get a 6.4 that gets the cam wiped out, you might as well go ahead and press out the engine.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the tolerance is tighter. The bearing tolerances, that's why the 6.4s take 0.40 and the 5.7s take the 5.20. It's different oil. So the 6.4 tolerances are tighter. So that metal starts getting up in there.
Oh, you talking about metal from this wiping out?
Yeah.
See, Chrysler said pull the oil control valve, but you got metal shavings in there.
It's those.
Right. It said it's time for
the 5.7s, you pull it. If we get a 6.4 that's like that, you get the engine.
Oh, you ain't gonna even try to.
If they say, then we put under it. We recommend the engine. They didn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's specific. And they kick back some of our claims because them no ways one charging out oil for you guys.
All right, man. See, think about that. I caught some of that. Basically he was saying there's a difference in tolerance between the 5.7 and the Hemi. Now we've been getting away at the dealership with just simply replacing the camshaft and of course the lifters, and you're on your merry way. But this guy, like I say, he own a high performance shop, and he was saying the 6.4, when the 6.4 come in there with the camshaft chewed up like that, he off the bat he said it's engine time. They're not looking at oil control valves or nothing. As per the rules we are under, where we look at the oil control valve, and if there's metal shavings on there, the shavings has gotten too far in the engine, and they recommend at that point that we do a whole complete engine. So,
and I can see where he's coming from a standpoint of the tuning game is very lawyer heavy. Like it's people will call, because if they can afford to do that kind of work, if somebody can throw $25,000 at an engine job in a dyno session, they got a lawyer on speed dial.
right. And you notice the oil differences that he brought up, 0W40. He said because of the tolerance, the 6.4, the recommended oil for the 6.4 is 0.40, as opposed to 5.20 with the Hemi with the MDS solenoids, I assume. So
0.40 would be lighter.
Yeah, I think it's he says the tolerance are tighter, so that requires a lighter oil.
A lighter oil, yeah.
But fully synthetic.
Fully synthetic.
Yeah.
Probably, and that's probably why they're prone to problems, because there's no cushion there, right?
So what are your thoughts on running 0.40 in that 5.20 then?
I would, if it was me, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would send that engine out to be machined and send it to somebody that specializes in these things and have it milled so that it's going to live, right? Because a machinist, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just go and order another engine, it's the same problem.
Okay.
So if you get that sent out to somebody that can actually knows what they're doing with that Hemi engine, because there's lots of people making a living on them engines.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can chit chat through this next clip, man. But this is I was doing an oil change on one the other day. Okay, here's the oil. This oil is expensive, man. I tell you, super expensive. But that's the oil his car calls for. what killed me about oil, man, and oil recommendations when people buy these cars, first thing they do is experiment with what kind of oil should they use. It's like nobody wants to go off recommended oil use. It's like that can't be right in some people's head. I mean, I was training even in school because I still get asked this a lot. What oil do you recommend? I was trained to tell people that ask me that whatever the manufacturer suggests. I mean,
Well, there was a millions of dollars of engineering went into figuring out what's the best
Right.
oil for this.
right.
And John Hancock from down the street says, "No, I run 1030 and everything." Well, that was 1980 something. They want your they want your 5-liter back, right? It was a different engine at a different generation.
Yeah, man. All right, so I got another clip for you guys. I want to I think we got into the topic of strokers, Aaron stroking and why. He semi explained it a little bit, but we're gonna touch on it some more and see what where this discussion lead. Let me get this over here. Come on.
What he doing? What's going on? He's doing a stroker on his too. And a stroker is a bigger engine with bigger displacement, which result
So
in
you
more.
put a crane, so pretty much like 5.7 and 6.4 is essentially the same block, right?
Okay.
What's the difference? The crane, right? You got a bigger crane.
Okay.
It's just like the 3.5 and the 4.0 is the same engine, right?
Yeah, it's the same engine.
But the only difference is the crank and the rotating assembly is different to get more displacement. So you get more travel of the piston. So you essentially you make it. The engine physically isn't getting bigger, but the volume that is displacing is bigger.
Which will result
And
in
more
more,
power. Yeah. The bigger the engine, the more power, right?
which is the goal of the driver, the owner.
Yeah. Make more power. Go faster.
So the power that it was with already wasn't
It's
enough.
never enough.
Only thing is never know. When does it end?
It never ends.
Same thing they talk about all the time. It never ends. They can never have enough power.
So what he's talking about there, bore and stroke, right? So,
Uh-huh.
so to figure out your cubic inches, like a 350 Hemi would more than likely be a 4-inch bore. That's this by here, by
Right.
a 3.5-inch stroke, which would be the measurement from your center pin to your pin here, right? So that would
Okay.
be 350 cubic inch engines. So if you move this center pin up the piston more,
Uh-huh.
well, you can move it up another 1/2 inch. Well, it's going to give you closer to 400 cubic inches.
Oh.
Right. So that's where the term stroking comes from, or a stroker.
Oh.
And,
Yeah, it's interesting how you say the engine is not getting bigger, but it's displacement.
the displacement, right?
Yeah.
So,
See, I never got heavily into high performance. Until now I'm starting to get a little knowledge on it. But
you seen the blower that was in that clip, right?
the blower that was in that clip.
Yeah, there was a blower on that engine.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, that engine, that's a root style blower, which is measured in liters, right?
Okay.
So that would it looked like a Bell setup, or it may have been a factory Chrysler setup, which was Magnus, and I think I'm not 100% sure, but them blowers are measured in liters, right?
Right.
So if that was a 2.5 liter blower, that 6.4 liter Hemi is now basically a 9 liter.
Wow.
9 liter engine, right? So basically, the way boost works, it's you're forcing a volume of air into the engine that's fooling the engine into thinking it's bigger than it actually is.
Oh. Wow.
So if that was my car and I was doing the work myself,
Uh-huh.
that blower pulley that you seen on the front of the engine,
Okay.
first thing I would do is pull that off, put a smaller pulley on it, because that's going to overdrive your blower. So that would bring your boost from probably 12 to 15, 16 pounds of boost.
Okay.
Just throwing it. And the other thing that I would do if it was my car,
Mm-hmm.
I would put a little snort of nitrous on it, because supercharged cars love nitrous.
Well, I noticed you keep stressing if that was my car. Well, so you wouldn't recommend that to.
It's not the advice I give to somebody if I was working on their car.
Oh,
I don't want to come back to haunt me.
Oh, marriage. You don't want to get married to
I don't
a
want to
car.
get married. I don't want to marry a problem.
Wow.
I
I
I'm
understand.
quite happy to blow up my shit. I will blow up my shit.
And laugh about it once you're done.
Yes, like the last time I had my Mustang on the dyno, it was working perfect, 12 pounds of boost.
Wow.
But I'm a greedy SOB, right? So I said, let's put the 18-pound pulley on it.
Wow.
Push. You know what the hermetic gaskets are like. How hard it is to blow a head gasket, and it took. I can tell you, a 4.6. You get up to 18 pounds of boost, you'll blow the head gaskets.
Oh, even a multi-layer steel head gasket?
That's what I had in it. I had the multi-layer.
Wow.
And it made a hell of a pass. It was it wasn't a pass. It was a pull. It was 530 horsepower to the rear tires, and she pushed every bit of water right out of the. It went off like a.
All right, some people chiming in. Tom said he drive a 96 Dodge Dakota, 70,000 miles. Dang, Tom, you ain't been nowhere, man. 96 model. That's what's up. Zia 187. Just found your channel today and subscribe. Thank you, Zia. Don't forget to subscribe. In fact, guys, if y'all in here, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and do not forget to sub my man This Guy's Garage, and both channel. If you're in here, you likely already subscribed to my channel, but don't forget to sub my man's channel. And like I said, give the video a thumbs up while you're in here.
Much appreciated.
Paul Service, hi from down under. I'm not sure where down under is, but thanks for joining.
Australia.
Huh?
I'd say Australia.
Australia.
Land down under.
Appreciate you joining the stream, Paul. Matthew Swenson. I recognize Matthew. What's up, Matt? Of course, Tom Cook. My dream car is one that's very quiet and blows the doors off anything on the road.
A sleeper. I got one.
Do that car even exist?
I got it.
So that car has about 1,000, which I assume he's saying one of these cars has about 1,000 horsepower. I think he was talking about the video clip that I pulled up earlier. I don't know how many it has, man.
I would be doubtful. Now, the pamphlet says that a Hellcat Demon has about 860 horsepower.
860?
But that's flywheel horsepower.
Oh,
that's
a difference.
That's not rear tire horsepower, right?
Yeah. Me and my buddy, we never got into how much because you don't know that until you get on the dyno, right?
Well, most people that have the most of it don't generally have the stuff like to actually get it down the road, right?
Oh,
here's the thing with horsepower.
What's
today,
that?
There's no limit, really. The limit is how much power will the engine hold.
Oh,
so I have a little example. This here is a factory rod.
Okay.
Out of my Mustang. I was told, by the way, it had a set of H beams in it, but this is what was in it. And this is what happens when you turn it up.
Whoa. What did happen?
I put 12 pounds of boost on an engine that had 7 pounds that was built for 7 pounds. And I tied the rod into a knot and the other end of that rod went out through the side of the block and put a window in it.
Whoa.
So this is a rod that would hold 1,000 horsepower right here.
Oh. So is it made of different material or what?
Different materials. If you look at the two of them side by side, the rod won't make any more horsepower, but it will hold a lot more horsepower.
So is that what a term stroker come from, or
the term stroker comes from? And I'll show you on this rod here. The term stroker would see the length from here to here, the center eye to center eye. This is a stock length rod. So if I wanted to stroke my engine, I basically want the bottom of that rod down. So this would be factory stroke.
Okay.
So you basically, the rod's gonna get a little longer. Now, there's a certain amount of stroke you can add to an engine with just a rod. They call them stroker rods.
Yeah.
To get 8 cubic inches out of a small displacement engine, you need a stroker kit, which is your crankshaft, which has an offset rod journal, so you can get longer rods and longer pistons in. But that gets expensive because a lot of times there's machine work involved where you're going to have to cut gouges in because the piston's going to come down a lot further in your journal, right?
Right.
So when it comes back around, it generally will touch the block. So a lot of times the block's got to be machined out to be able to accept
Ooh.
back and forth.
Whoa. Okay. I don't think many PT Cruisers can get their get stroker engines, but
The PT Cruiser, it's the turbo one with the RT engine that shares with the Neon. They're making 500-600 horsepower with them Neon engines pretty.
wow.
And that's a shared platform with the Neon, right?
Yeah, but
So,
pretty much.
Yeah. So them PT Cruisers, I wouldn't take a chance I wouldn't take a chance on being able to pull away from one I don't like.
All right, man. Let's move on. I got some more video clips I want to show up, and we're gonna dissect these some more. Let's play this one right here.
Oh, you just got the valve cover up.
This whole thing's about to come out.
To do what?
Put a stroker in. So we better, bigger crank.
A stroker have bigger cranks and
so we get more displacement.
more displacement. And that's gonna make it go fast.
Yeah, it's more power. We're taking out the 8-speed, putting the 3-speed transmission in it.
Taking out the 8-speed from the 3-speed automatic?
Yeah, we put automatic.
Oh.
One thing that's going to handle the power is that we change it out. The 8-speed couldn't get burnt out.
So he's not gonna be doing regular driving then, right? And with 3 speeds?
Dude, I mean, cars used to have 2 speeds.
And it's an automatic?
Wow. So you see what he was saying about that? The necessary to change the transmission just because you're about to stroke your engine. As it relates to it, will a particular now the 8-speed, mind you, the 8-speed transmission ain't no joke. But if they under the impression that new strokered engine will burn out an 8-speed transmission,
was that a supercharged one as well, JT?
I'm not sure.
I
didn't pay attention.
But what happens with the 8-speed is because it goes through the gears so quick, it wastes torque, right? So if you go back to a 3-speed transmission, that engine, you're not wasting any torque. So it's when you have horsepower, you don't need mechanical advantage. So the 10-speed transmission is more for a mechanical advantage when you have a lack of horsepower.
But dropping to a 3-speed from an 8-speed just because your engine is stroked up with more power, it's got to be only for racing purposes. But the way it let him explain it,
racing that car, that car is not a dyno queen. That car is going to the racetrack.
Well, you notice I asked him, was the guy gonna be doing regular driving? He was like, sure. so,
the final ratio is 1-to-1, right? It really doesn't need all them gears, right? And the 8-speed transmission is probably skipping gears anyways when you get into that power. When you get
it's obviously emission is not this guy's concern. He don't give a shit about. He don't give a damn about emissions.
No,
so,
he's sliding somebody $100 bill to get that emissions passed.
What's up, Tom? Tom said we have a customer with a 05 Magnum with a Hemi and a supercharger. Nice sleeper. The owner is 76 years old. Wow. Well, he's 05 Magnum. Well, I assume it's the Hemi under the hood. 05 Magnum. They only had the 5.7s at that time.
Well,
I might be mistaken, but
that
sure.
5.7 Hemi, with minimal money spent on them, are 1,000 horsepower capable.
Yeah, man, that Hemi done went through some from the valve seats dropping to the valve train noise to that Hemi is getting a bad rap, and it continues to get a bad rap. But the funny thing about it, people continue to buy it. So
because it's
not going
not a
anywhere.
Hemi.
It's not going anywhere no time soon.
No.
Welcome to the stream, Hell Man Dollar Auto Diagnostic, man. You're welcome to chime in if you want to. All of you guys, man, y'all welcome to chime in. Get a video thumbs up if you just joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to my buddy's channel. I got one more video clip, Caper. I think this one we talking. I went over, like I say, I toured his shop a little bit. He got an area for a dyno. Now, he haven't always had a dyno. So I guess the thinking behind that was, if I'm going to spend $300-400 to take, to see if my work received any improvements, if I'm going to spend $300-400 at another shop to get a dyno, I might as well invest in my own dyno. So which turned out, which makes sense economically.
Oh, yeah. Proof of life. Whenever, if you're charging somebody good money for tuning or hardware or software, they want to see the numbers, right?
Ooh, he explained that in this last clip. He's like, if you spend $1,000 for a couple more horsepower, they want it to be shown. I don't know if paper is the proof thing, but in this last video clip, he went over some of the measurements he do with his laptop. In fact, I'll play that right quick. This is the last one, so we can dissect the rest of this video after this.
You make the necessary adjustments based on
I use the laptop to look for a spark plot, check my AFR, make sure AFR good. First, I just fuel it. Once I get my fuel where I want it, then I go and I start the starter.
all that.
The laptop. So we use this is what makes this, but the laptop I have to touch the car. So I think my wife and myself, I can see what my AFRs are.
What I think, like a 5 years ago.
It's only just to make those symptoms. It's a true reading of those symptoms. It's where you're like, the real data start random. They fluctuate, why they fluctuate like this.
Hopefully in there.
Yeah, it's pretty much. So we use that as a bypass. So we're just in the system reading. So I can see what that's,
Yeah.
what's my before and after,
And the after have to be improved better than
Oh, shit, like they're looking for, if I spend $10,000, I'm looking for, 100 horsepower minimum.
more. Yeah, more than what they had. And you can pull that off. You pull that off by the repairs you make with the engine and the adjustment.
Well, we usually be pretty close,
Wow. Yeah, man, I can't make out especially the dyno world. You guys that been using the dyno, I can't really relate, but he did well trying to explain it to me. It just wasn't comprehending to me, I guess.
Well, the other side of it for him is you're sharing that liability, right? Like, unless you can go rent somebody's dyno, they're basically the ones that are pulling the keystrokes and where all the power is made. So it's, somebody gets a little greedy,
Wow.
they blow up an engine, you're on the hook for it, and now you're instead of billing out $10,000 for an engine, you're getting billed for a $10,000 engine, right? That's it. When you're in that game, you need that hardware. Everything can be done without it, but when you're in that game and you're in that line of work, and your name is on the line, you definitely want to basically check all your boxes, make sure that everything is done right. So
yeah. He was explaining some of the things he was. I guess he was you look at not things you check to see if your horsepower is improved, NOx sensors and various things, O2 sensor, all on his laptop, and I guess he'd take measurements and
So the oxygen sensor, like I can show you a video of my car on the dyno if you want to.
Oh yeah, sure, go. I'm done with all the video stream.
Yeah. So let me know when.
Oh, it's gonna ask me that again.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So Here's my car in the dyno. Made 480 horsepower to rear tires there.
All right.
You can see the oxygen sensor here.
Okay.
Now my car has onboard sensors, but this here's a Boss Mustang in this lane here. This is my car here. No, I left him like he's tied to a stump. and that car, that's a gunslinger car. She's 5-speed. I'm pulling gears. That's not an automatic transmission in this car.
Oh, you're switching gears.
Yeah, I'm switching gears. I'm
What are we looking at here? What's this?
That's a Dart with a 408 stroker, and this is my car. It's a 4.62 valve with a Vortex supercharger. It's running about 12 pounds of boost at this point.
Oh, did you get him? So you at the track just bullying people, huh?
It's I'm hurting feelings. The guy about Boss Mustang, he said, I was trying to get up beside you, and he said, I found something I didn't want to find.
Wow. Wow. That is crazy. That is good. So basically what you're saying is some things can go wrong on the dyno. You can't.
I blew up my car on the dyno twice.
But
greedy.
Yeah, so shops typically they all got insurance anyway, so you probably have to have extra insurance when you start.
Oh well, my guy was sliding me in on a Saturday afternoon and just charging me $200, right? I wasn't. I was at the deep discount price where I shoulder all the responsibility.
Okay.
If I want guarantees, well, that comes, get my checkbook out.
Wow. What's typical charges now to get your car dyno? Is it about $300-$400 typically?
It's generally it's gone up since my last session, but
wow.
If just say he was to bring in a Hellcat and you wanted some tuning in a dyno session, you're looking at about $700 Canadian, which is the good thing about the software in my car is I own it, so I'm only paying for dyno time when I go back, right?
Oh, okay.
So I own the license on it, so it's cheaper the next time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I ain't never had nothing fast enough to warrant a dyno reading. So if that's the case, what's up, Miko? I guess that's Miko. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining the stream, guys. Like I say, give the video a thumbs up.
Michael,
if you just joining in, Miko. I think I've seen him before.
Miko.
Yeah,
okay.
Miko. So, well, man, when I actually want to get this guy on air one day. He be acting funny, man. His name Jimmy Vaughn. He be acting funny sometimes. So one day I'm gonna be able to get him on the stream to talk more. But I'm gonna pay him more visits because I really like to know get into the engine performance side of things myself.
I'll tell you a little story. When I was getting that day that you seen where my car was on the dyno there and the clip. Well, there was a Viper in there. And it was a turbo car, right?
Right.
He was on the dyno before I got there, and the guy was from a couple hundred kilometers away. And he came in, and my dyno guy told him, he said it made 800 horsepower to the rear tires, right? And the guy was hoping for 1,000 horsepower.
Oh.
And he really, turned his nose up. I think he came in with 600 horsepower, and so he was able to get 800 horsepower out of it with everything that was there and keep it safe, right? And the guy was like, because it's an arbitrary number, this dyno thing, right? People get it in their mind. I want 1,000 horsepower.
Oh.
People have no idea what 1,000 horsepower is. If you took my car for a drive with the 500 horsepower, it would scare the bejesus out of you.
Wow.
So, he's,
wow.
It's only got 800 horsepower. So
that was disappointing to him?
That was disappointing. So, about an hour later, he's driving home, right? And I'm in the shop. My car's on the dyno, and the phone rings. And the guy called to apologize to him because he had no idea what 800 horsepower was.
Oh, wow!
Because he gave it the beans on the way home, and the car went into the spins because 800 horsepower is.
and I noticed you said,
drawers.
listen. I noticed you said some real wheel horsepower as opposed to what?
Flywheel horsepower. There's about 30% in the difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, I showed them that video that I had there. My car made 480 horsepower. It's made 500 horsepower. It's made more than that, but I don't have it on paper, so I can't talk about that. But 500 horsepower to the rear tires is about 650 horsepower to the flywheel.
Okay.
So, you know, and the Hellcats do have the big dick numbers where, you know, they're the demon. Let's say the demon.
Right.
It claims, you know, 9-second time slips, and it claims about 800 horsepower. Well, maybe with the right driver, it might dip into the nines, but that car with the average Joe that's buying them,
right,
would be lucky to get around my trash.
Hey, Paul Service. Let me check on Paul Service. He had a Jeep 2015 Trailhawk transfer case oil change. I can't find the fill and drain plug. Please help. Guy Paul. I don't know that one by heart. Tom, you recognize that? Transfer case. That thing likely, if it's 4-wheel drive, likely has a PTU power transfer unit bolted to the 9-speed transmission. I want to guess because it's a 2015 Trailhawk, so it likely has a 9-speed transmission. If it's 4-wheel drive, it likely has a PTU. You know what, Paul? I don't think I ever serviced one of those.
I don't know. Did they actually have a transfer case like a, you know, when I vision transfer case, I'm envisioning
axles going to the rear wheel drive stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This I think they call these PTUs on the front wheel drive cars. But I don't think, now you got me scratching my head. I don't think I've ever performed I'm sure there's service intervals, you know, on it. It's got to be a change interval, unless they call it sealed like they do the transmissions. Oh my God, it's sealed. You're not supposed to touch it. Fuck out of here. Get out of here. So Paul, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I can easily look that up when I end the stream and get back with you. While you're here, Paul, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to sub the channels, both channels, This Guy's Garage and Online Mechanic Tips. So I don't know, Caper, we 40 minutes in. You got anything else you want to add?
I don't know what anything you want to bullshit about, or
man, you know these topics tend to go all off. I'm getting ready to to the audience. We finna switch subjects a little bit. So like I say, my guys, thanks for tuning in. Y'all want to hang around? You can chime in. We can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to do, man. We typically go an hour, so I guess we got 20 minutes to fumble around a little bit and go from there. I
had something I wanted to ask you about. I was waiting until we're face to face. The video you just did this morning there on the no pay, no start.
Oh man, pastime. You ever heard the term pastime? Yeah, I think that's what they used to call it. And you know what, Caper? That module, the one that sounded off, it's normally under the instrument console. So when you get in the car, you hear a little bell. I didn't hear that, so I didn't give it much thought.
That's like the breathalyzer for people with bad credit.
I don't mean to laugh because this is a nice young lady. I actually talked to her when she drove the car in. And that car been there a week, so it took her a week to build up enough whatever to approve the. But of course, the ticking noise is on the warranty. She got a nice warranty. So, man, I scratched my head for a good 30 minutes trying to figure out what's intercepting this. You saw the video, and
I've seen the video. Like, I know the TIPM basically it lives your ground, right? It's not like a regular fuse box. Like,
it's a module. It's
the TIPM controls your ground, right?
It controls. It's the drivers for a lot of things.
Yes, so like it turns on a ground instead of turning on a hot.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it can go either way. It can go either way.
It does go both ways, but on the starter particularly, it goes to ground. So that's why it was ground it where was that when from my limited knowledge of the tipping and how it works, but like that's a viral video right there. But I don't know the legal responsibilities of telling people how to bypass that.
No, that's what
I just watched your video and I know how I could bypass it.
you see how they took the yellow wire. The yellow
wires.
Exactly. They took the yellow wire out of pin 87 of the starter relay that goes to the starter.
Yeah.
So all they did was intercept that
Yeah.
one signal to the module and signal out. Yeah. Now, I mean, that car is in the shop. I mean, I just didn't want to film me jumping and taking it in the shop. I got them. I'm about to do them lifters when I get back to the shop Monday.
Yeah.
So
basically, you'd only need one of them blue connectors that couples two wires together. Squeeze it on.
Starter switch.
Starter
switch. Yeah. Anything that closes the circuit will get that car to start. Mopar fanboy, what's up, team? Thoughts on a 3.91 gears and a daily driver? Mopar 11 came with those, but don't see any in my area anymore. Oh, Mopar.
391 gears.
Yeah.
What's under the hood?
Yeah, he'll come back and answer that. Who is this? Mr. Neuraleader 007. What causes fuel tank pressure sensor to always read negative readings? Fuel tank pressure sensor. I guess he's talking about emissions, ESIMs and things in the trunk. In the tank, because there's a sensor on pretty much all the newer cars that monitors tank pressure. So he want to know why one would read negative readings all the time. Well, the easiest answer is the sensor could be bad, but I'm almost certain you probably looked at that, and if it was easy enough, you probably already changed it. So, but man, you left out too much information. I don't know what kind of car or year, make, and model. Yeah, I need a little bit more.
Yeah, because like it gears, final gear ratio, right? Like I had a Mustang back in the day, a 5-liter Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically a stock engine. Now, when I bought the car, it ran 15 something in the quarter mile, and I put a set of gears in it, and headers, and changed a bunch of stuff around. I basically got it to run 12.00 in the quarter mile at 112 mile an hour. And I switched the gears from a 308 gear ratio to a 430 gear ratio, which gives you a mechanical advantage, right? It revs the engine out quicker. Gears are a solution for low horsepower.
Oh.
So if that we'll just use for an example that if that 391 gear ratio was in 2011 Mopar with a Hemi, and it had 355s from the factory, let's say, what would be the factory gear ratio on a Hemi Challenge?
Ooh, I don't know those specs.
Baby Hemi.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they have a big tire on it. They have a fairly steep gear ratio anyways.
Especially the Challengers.
I think they're around 355. I
Yeah.
think. So 391 wouldn't be that big a step up. So it would, you would feel it in your pants. It would feel like you made a whole lot more power without touching the engine.
What would be a reason to upgrade like that? You got more. You just redid something to your engine, maybe. You just added some.
The only reason I would do it is if I was going racing, and I wanted to clip somebody. Well, if I didn't have money for a motor, well, I can put a hot tune-up in it and change the gear ratio, and I got some mechanical advantage now, right?
Oh, okay.
That's the poor man's way of doing racing.
Yeah.
But like it's the complete opposite of what your friend was saying about the 3-speed transmission, because that car was now making power. You can start taking gears away because you want to use that torque and horsepower. But if you don't have a whole lot of torque and horsepower, you got to make up for it with gear ratio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Tom. Tom was saying, I guess he was referencing that guy question about the fuel tank pressure. Purge solenoid internal leaking or eval filter plug. Yeah, that would cause that. Low readings. I guess he getting those readings off a scan tube. So, and it must be low enough to generate a fault code, because And you know how those fault codes work. It's a window. Anything outside of that window is out of specs, and it would turn on that light. Thanks, Tom. Yeah.
So Mopar Fanboy said he had a 5.7 liter Hemi. So I'm just wondering what gear ratio's in it now, if he knows.
Yeah, yep, that's been changed. He said, "Yep, that's been." Oh, yeah, okay. We bouncing around.
Mhm.
What was you just asking? What's been changed on what?
Mopar Fanboy just replied that he has a 5.7 liter Hemi. So I'm just wondering what gear ratio is, what gears are in his car right now.
You're talking about the diff. Now let me bring this up because the last time I was over there also at All Park Garage, just name of the shop. They was changing out a differential. I thought maybe something was wrong with the differential. They know they done added something under the hood, which will require you to update other things. So just beefing up your engine can ineffectively you may need to beef up some other parts of the
weakest link in the chain is the one that's gonna break.
That's nasty. What happened there?
I turned it up a little too much. Too much boost.
I see what you mean by experimenting with your own stuff. You would hate to cause yourself grief like that with customer stuff.
Oh, you couldn't do that for a customer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'll take a chance on breaking a 10-cent part, but like usually the 10-cent part is the worst part to replace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mr. NR Leader 007 on a 19. Oh, that's fairly new. On a 19 ProMaster City with fault code P0456, small leak, no leaks found. ESIM is good, purge valve is good too. All right, guy. I assume when you say good, you mean they're not leaking because we're dealing with a 0456, which means the computer sees evap leak, a tiny one on top of that. Now, I will say this, my man, when that happens or when I see problems like that, when I can physically see via my machine, via my leak detector machine, that ball drop. I don't know what kind of machine you're using, but they all pretty much do the same thing. I tend to use the air portion of the machine. Look at this ball; it drops all the way to the bottom and it stays there. Sure, that indicates no leak, but for some reason, the computer would still pick it up as a leak. Every time I have that happen or it happens, I start looking electronic things, such as the computer. Sometimes there's a glitch in the computer that will require you to flash update those modules. Like I had a flash update that had 20 different things that it's supposed to correct, and P0456 was in one of them. So what that tells me is, I guess they upgraded the calibrations in it because you can physically have no leaks at all in your evap system, but the computer will still store that fault code. So, guy, I don't know if you're a dealer or not, but and it sounds like you're still under warranty if it's a 19 model. You ain't even out of 3 year unless you over 36. Typical warranty on a new car, 3 year, 36,000 miles. So if you over 336, if you over 36,000 miles, that may have knocked you out. But for the most part, you might have to. And I get in trouble for saying this, Cape, when I say you might have to hightail it to a dealer. In the comments, I look down there, you don't always have to go to a dealer. That is true. If another shop have a subscription with Chrysler and the Star Scan 2 or the Pod or whatever, sure, they can do it also.
There's a lot of reasons to go
to the dealer.
Yeah, one is to maintain your warranty and get your oil changed and your fluids checks. I'm just looking at re-up Ricky here. I have a question. When I put gas in my Cruiser, if it filled to the brim, it's like full. What causes that? And it still causes bubbles after I turn the engine off. I've done everything besides changed radiator. That's starting to sound like a cracked head, because that would be a Cometic gasket in that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, all the PTs have multi-layer steel gasket, and the heads will warp before not before the gasket blow. They can happen at the same time, but I've refrained from ever since 01 when that car came out. I did my first head gasket. Oh, I said head gasket. It gave off typical head gasket symptoms.
Yeah.
I pulled that head, and keep in mind, this was 01. That car had just came out.
Yep.
Oh, it beat me up, man. I'm gonna spend 2 days on that car.
Yeah.
Just to take the head off, clean it up, put a new gasket on that car to come back a week. Ever since then, what are we talking? 10 years later, we're in 2020 now. I've never done just a head gasket only on
No,
those
the head
cars
gasket
in the
won't go. Like, yeah, I know what it takes to push out one of them head gaskets, and you know, I had a 281 cubic inch engine making 500 horsepower. That's what it takes to blow out one of them head gaskets.
Wow.
So,
Wow. That's crazy. But that you likely, man, if you can't find it, now there's a block tester. Man, I have to get around to uploading that video. You know the little apparatus, you put the green stuff in, you set it on there. If it turns blue or
It's a
vice
dye
versa, yeah, it's you essentially have exhaust gases in your cooling system. So that would indicate again a so-called blown head gasket. But that test don't always work. I haven't had much luck with that, and I know I'm getting exhaust gases in the cooling system, but so I didn't even bother uploading that video. First of all, Cape, I had one that I know was spitting out exhaust gases out of the cooling system, and I had my camera running, filming, and everything. This shit wouldn't change color.
Yeah.
I refused to upload the video. I wanted
proof of life, right?
Yeah, man, I wanted some good footage. This fluid just wouldn't change colors. So.
Well, and that sounds like the problem Ricky's having, because he's getting bubbles, but it's it's not getting hot. Now, like, it's one thing when the coolant gets drawn into the engine, but if you're only getting exhaust gases, you're not going to get that overheating.
Yeah,
it's got to travel both ways to get it. So but problems are coming.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But that's the going thing on those PT. But for some reason, everybody taking the head out, putting gasket on it.
Well, it's all for naught, because the problem's still going to be there. If the problem's, it's not very likely that the Cometic gasket's leaking.
Yeah. Let me okay. That's what's up, Mr. NR leader. Appreciate your time. I thank y'all for tuning in to the stream. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up too, man.
Yes.
I guess because of the current situation we're in, how well y'all hit? You in Canada, right?
I'm in Canada, yeah.
Well, y'all got strict rules in place as far as
it's fairly strict. Yeah, we're I won't say what I said on my live stream, but yeah, it's going to be 4 months before.
4 months.
Yeah, at least 4 months. What they're telling us here is 20 days without a new case before things start opening back up.
Oh, okay. And they monitoring the cases. I can imagine.
Well, they're really far behind, right? They're so slow in the testing. Everybody's, and I don't want to get political here, but in Canada they're all up in arms because Trump said no more masks coming here. Well, our prime minister, the dummy, sent all our masks to China.
Oh, wow.
So and you're going to cry because he's looking after his own people. That makes me sick. But anyways,
yeah,
that's Canadian politics. So.
Yeah. As far as what's open around here, we use the term essential. So if your business is essential, you are allowed to continue business as usual. But as you know, in order to run a business, you have to have customers.
Yes.
Okay, so a business open without customer is essentially no business.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna bring this up too. In the shop, a lot of guys standing around doing this. So while I got a chance, I don't know if any of the guys in the stream is a new mechanic or an aspiring mechanic, but I say this all the time, guys. If it's best that you try not to specialize in a given area if you're trying to be a mechanic.
1,000 times.
Yeah, man.
Whatever comes in the door, you're not going to turn your nose up at nothing.
Try to learn that whole complete car from bumper to bumper. It will suit. I tend to stay a little busy because of it. I don't care what's on the ticket. AC. I just seen it for my first AC job, so it's kind of warming up here in Atlanta. You got a coat on, man. What you doing?
It's still cold here. It's still 0.
Oh my God!
It's freezing here. I'm only in a sweater tonight.
Oh my God! This guy got a coat on.
Yeah. We're about 3 months away from needing to put the air conditioner in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is the time. We're at that time now where
for heat.
Oh wow. We're at that time now where nothing is running. So I can get electric bill a break. I might get my lowest electric bill of the year this month because ain't nothing, no heater or no AC. In other words, it's been just right.
Hair salons were the first thing that were
Oh
closed
yeah,
around
yeah.
here now. Women are going to have roots down to their back by the time this is all said.
So, Paul say they in lockdown. Paul service. We're in lockdown too. Re-up, you in no, is that NC, North Carolina, right? Yeah, that's North Carolina. Tom, you off work, man? I'm sorry to hear that, man.
North Carolina is some beautiful country. I was there before. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, it's time to fire up. I hope you brought you some tools with you, man, because it's a lot of people out there need work. You know, we call it on the side.
Yes.
So,
Side hustle.
if
JT got side hustle on top of side hustle.
Dude, if they shut our shop down, I'm grabbing as many tools out of my toolbox as I can. I'm not like a lot of guys, they got a whole collection at home and work. Yeah, I just don't have a setup like that. So I'm grabbing tools, putting out cars on cars at Walmart. If your car ticking, especially all the LH bars with 3 6s and stuff, your car ticking, give me a call.
I mean, if you really wanted to work at home, I don't know what kind of neighborhood you live in where
I can't.
They may it looks like a fairly nice neighborhood, so it looks like they may frown upon that.
Oh my gosh, they will. You can't have your hood up around here. What you got that hood up for?
But like around here, like what you're doing, you have the proof of life, right? The proof is in the pudding. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you decided to go on your own, you would be busier than you could handle. I would say.
There's a lot of competition out there. That's a lot of.
Well,
the reason my buddy is successful because he's not doing the typical auto repair. He engine performance.
Yeah.
So everybody not up to that. So still getting. Tom said at least they still getting paid. That's what's up, Tom. That's good, man. Got to keep some revenue stream flowing in. And speaking of revenue stream, my other little side hustle, which is this. YouTube, man, we getting hit hard, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think your channel is monetized, but my channel is monetized, and the ad revenue it's like the people not paying YouTube for ad space. Yeah. So YouTube will in turn lower the ad revenue to the creators. So I'm getting hit hard, man. So it don't matter if I upload 3-4 videos a day, that's not gonna raise the ad revenue. Mm-hmm. It's just gonna add to your views and your exposure. So you gotta weigh your option. What's more important to you, your exposure or the money? Right. A lot of cases it's the money, but it's not translating into that. I think 2 days ago I uploaded 3-4 videos. I didn't get no much more in revenue had I uploaded one. So that tells me the YouTube ad revenue has went down. You see what I'm saying? So
Mopar fanboy here said he got a drag strip a couple exits down the road and wanted to beef up the gears on my 5.7 so that it has 306 gears right now, so it's probably 308 gears. My suggestion would be a set of 373s if you're going to drive it and live with it. That's a good all-around gear. 391's not a whole lot of difference. So if you can get a set cheap and you get somebody to put them in reasonable, you can go wrong with 391 gears. Much more than that, I think that has a 5 or 6-speed transmission in it, JT.
What's that?
The Challenger that
depending on the year. If it's a 15 or higher, they came with the 8-speed.
I think it's an older one. I'd have to look up.
Yeah, then it's likely have a nag. They teamed the Hemis up with the nag between, I guess, 05 and on up to 14 until the 8-speed came out. But everybody know the 8-speed is feel for life. Get the fuck out of here. But that transmission showed up in some of the later built 14s. And in all the 15s and higher, you're gonna get that 8-speed. They done with the nag. The nag was only 5-speed automatic transmission.
So he was Mopar fanboy. He was a little worried about the gear ratio on long trips. Now, I think he was around for my Mustang. That my Mustang actually had 373s in the back of it. There, it's a good all the way around gear ratio, and you won't have any problems. I wouldn't go higher than 373 if you're still driving it, and 355s would be even a little probably better. Ricky was saying his channel is monetized, the views are down. I did 4 videos this week to stop the bleeding because my
Yeah, that's same here, man. Same here. Like, what is going on?
like I had my best month ever, and then it was just like
March, I was on a roll in March. In fact, they sent me a letter. I was gonna do a video on that. It was like, congratulations, your channel got such and such and such and such.
I was waiting for that little.
And you would think people sitting at home, you would think all they're gonna do is watch Netflix and YouTube, but it's just that.
There was a lot of oxygen being swallowed up in the
Oh
room.
my God, man, tell me about it.
It's just starting to come back a little bit now.
Yeah, very low, but
Ready, set, autism family. Please remember to crush that Ready, set, autism family. My 2 boys have autism actually, so but, it doesn't have them.
yeah. Oh, you talking about the like button? Yeah. That's what's up, Mr. Ready. And sub these channels, man, while you're at it. Also,
Be greatly appreciated. I'd like to get some money coming in. I need some equipment. I'm still working with an old cell phone.
man, don't you talk about that. I seen one of your videos in the snow. Look better than my 4K cameras.
This phone's treating me right, JD. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, okay. Take it around, wrapped around that. Yeah, that COVID-19 stuff. Hoping my views pick up. I do too, man. You say you already monetized. That means you. I don't recognize your name, but I'm cool with it. I don't know if I'm subbed to you already. If not, I'm gonna make sure I do.
Leave a comment over my channel. I'll head over to your place because I'm the screen I'm in. I can't just click on people's channels.
So ready. Re-up. Yeah, I'm gonna check out some of your videos. I assume you in the automotive. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be heading over there. Watch, see what you got, man. That's what's up. Appreciate you joining on. We didn't upload a video for a month, and we had steady daily traffic. This guy's garage. We will definitely look you up. That's what's up.
Yeah, say hello, and I'll be back. I'll come over for a visit for sure. Yeah, it's weird. Like, and I'll cruise around because most of the channels that I'm subscribed to have their own channels, right? So like, it's a kind of a big community, you know, all about that.
Yeah.
And everybody, it's not just me and you, like everybody, because you can see their traffic on their homepage,
right?
And everybody just tanked, like,
Wow. I wonder how your buddy Scotty doing. Scotty, he up to about 3 a day now. He uploading it.
Oh my God. Well,
I love that guy numbers. So you can say what you want about Scotty, but them numbers, he sit there and do this all day, and them numbers just go up. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be in here doing this. See how my numbers do, but I love that guy, man.
He got something figured out.
he got the numbers game on lock. That's for sure.
Like a lot of the information he provides is, well, you got to plug your nose to listen to it. But, as far as getting the numbers, like people are bought in, man.
You read some of the comments, they are die-hard Scotty fans too, boy.
And there's none of his videos are, this is a great car, you should buy it. Yeah. Everything's a fucking lemon.
It makes you question what he drives and what he likes.
I hear tell it's a Toyota Camry or something.
Oh my God! Let God forbid.
Shares some Toyota.
God forbid he doing a review on a Chrysler product. He gonna dog it to the ground.
Oh,
yeah. He don't like nothing.
The Chrysler product may break, but they back their stuff. I'm trying not to use inappropriate language, but they back their stuff. Like, I had a 10-year-old Dodge Ram, and the pinion up backed off it. They put a whole new ring and pinion, the whole 9 yards in it. It was a $1,500 job on a truck that was 15.
Oh, you're talking about that recall? I can't even think of the number.
Yeah.
And it's what's funny about that recall? It's still like a good maybe 10,000 that haven't been done yet. So they probably all at the scrap yards.
Yeah.
So
they rusted bad around here. I tell you, they rusted bad.
So it's a lot of those that haven't been done. Even the airbag, you know, we're pretty much doing all the airbags over.
Mhm.
That's still a lot of airbags, and you think we done them all because at one point that's all we was doing at the dealership.
Yeah.
Just airbag, airbag, airbag. After so many of those, you think you didn't got them all. No, they suck a still trickle in.
Yeah.
Those ones that never been to the dealer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, they just afraid of the dealer. The dealer has a bad rap.
Well,
So
for some of it for a good reason, not all of it. You know, if you never come back for a lick of service and expect to get warranty done,
yeah,
you know, it cuts both ways, right?
yeah.
If the dealership never sees my vehicle, they don't know if I changed the oil. They don't know, especially if it's something engine related. You know, like you need a set of time change.
Yeah.
We know you changed the oil.
Woo, well, guys.
Give them it out, they're going to take it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, man. We is up to 1 hour and 5 minutes, actually. Like I said, I recognize some of these guys. I'm sure you probably recognize some.
Yeah, I recognize a couple.
Especially Tom, my buddy Tom. So, what are your last thoughts, man? We about to wrap this up.
I just wanted to thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I'm always game to talk about performance and breaking parts, and you know.
What do you store that stuff? What do you have it? Just sitting in the.
I keep it for emergencies. You know, like I would use that piston again if I had to.
Man, you should have set a chalkboard on your wall right behind you and just talk about that in the whole little courses and stuff on what could happen or what could cause that. That would make for some good content. Like you did that Ford. You had the Ford with the burning oil.
Yep.
Like he was in a classroom.
Yes.
Those were some interesting.
I was hoping to get back to work on like some race car stuff and some project stuff, because I think I might have talked to you about I actually have an engine that was on the cover of Popular Hot Rod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
I don't have the magazine in front of me, but maybe we'll talk about that again. It's it made 500 horsepower, pretty much naturally aspirated.
Oh wow.
Then I put my supercharger on top of
it. All right, man.
Captain Insano.
Yeah. All right, it's starting to get noisy in my background in my house. Tom Cool, you got a track phone. All right, let's do this last one. Re-up. What Re-up talking about? That's you, Caper. That last Re-up.
So more small engines and cars coming this summer with 10 million plus people unemployed. Yeah. He does mostly gaming videos. I have a few videos on my PT Cruiser. I'll be by to check you out. Oh
yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you Re-up in the stream and everybody else that came in the stream, man. I really appreciate it. We're gonna wrap this up right now, man. Like I said, we typically try to go to an hour, and the conversation always veer
left to right.
Yeah, so it's no big deal, guys. But I gotta go in here. It's dark now. Well, I guess they give us dark. Well, it's 9 o'clock, so it's dark now. So I'm gonna go in with the family, man. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, Caper, and everybody else. I appreciate it, guys. We're gonna end this right here. Thanks for watching. All right.
Thank you.